Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today. Introducing the new Audible original Breakthrough.
The genre-redefining audio-only series that strips away the superficial to reaffirm what matters most, pure talent.
Featuring celebrity judges Kelly Rowland, Sarah Bareilles, and host David Diggs.
Hear every step of the musical journey as 5 undiscovered musicians battle through a series of high-stakes singing and songwriting challenges for one top spot.
As musically gifted as they are artistically unique, each finalist is driven by the same dream, to become music's next must-listen.
But to break through, they'll have to dig deep, pushing their vocal, songwriting, and recording chops to their absolute limits while keeping their feet and emotions firmly grounded.
So, who will break through? It's time to find out.
Join Kelly, Sarah, and David on a musical journey unlike anything you've ever seen.
This is Breakthrough.
Listen on Audible or wherever you get your podcasts.
Go to audible.com/breakthrough.
Follow along using hashtag BreakthroughXAudible. I'm going to say something scandalous, Ronnie.
Go on.
Plants are meat. And not only are they meat, they're delicious, especially if they're from Impossible Foods.
They taste like beef.
Exactly. Impossible is making meat history this summer.
Yeah, they are. Summer of Impossible.
I am so excited to be spending time cooking my summer foods, all that good stuff. And guess what? We can use Impossible sausages, Impossible brats. I mean, it's going to be a great summer for Impossible Foods.
Impossible beef is made from plants and 19 grams of protein per serving, and it's better for the planet.
And it's meat.
Plant meat, correct. So if you're looking for something to grab for your grill, grab some Impossible beef.
Summer of Impossible.
Start making meat history today. Just head over to the meat aisle at your local grocery store, grab some Impossible beef or patties, and get grilling.
Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Crappens, crappens, crappens. Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens?
Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today is the one, the only, the wonderful Ronnie Karam, except he's not really joining me here. He's joining me in the past, but the past will be here in a moment. What I'm trying to say is that today we are recapping the season premiere of Dancing Queens, but this is actually something we recapped when it premiered on our Patreon bonus episode. This was a bonus episode. There were like a million shows on at the same time. We put this on our bonus episode exclusive to our Patreon peeps, but we really enjoyed Dancing Queens, and the season just wrapped up. So we didn't get to recap the whole season, but we did a recap of the premiere, and we also did a recap of the finale, which will be posted on the Crappens feed shortly after this episode is getting posted. So what you're about to listen to here is our recap that was on the bonus episode. It also gives you a little bit of a flavor of maybe something you might find on the bonus episodes if you are interested in supporting on Patreon. You can support on Patreon. We have a bunch of different tiers. The most basic tier is the bonus episode, and then after that, there's also the Crappens on Demand, where you get early access to our videos, etc. But we have so much fun with our bonus episodes. Sometimes we just are just gabbing. Sometimes we're recapping shows. Sometimes we're in an airport just talking about the things that we see. So anyway, enough about that. Let's talk Dancing Queens. This recap aired in May on Patreon. So obviously so much has happened. We hope you enjoy this. And again, stay tuned for our recap of the finale. We do have, by the way, on Patreon, there was one other bonus episode where we kind of talked generally about the show, but it wasn't like a full specific recap. But anyway, I should stop talking. And here is the recap.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Watch What Crappens bonus episode. I'm Ronnie. That's Ben over there. Hello, Ben.
Hi, Ronnie.
How are you doing, my sweet little munchkin?
Oh my God, I'm doing so well. How are you doing?
Well. Everybody, welcome to the show. This is our Dancing Queens bonus. Now, there are a lot of shows on Bravo right now, literally 8 or 9 or something that we want to cover. And obviously, we can't do that. So, Dancing Queens is the newest. I mean, look, this is a rough one for us because I've been saying over and over, we have to find a way to make this a main feed show and recap every single episode of it. But unfortunately, we just don't have time. So we're going to bonus it up this week to just give everybody a taste of what this show is, because I did love the show. What did you think, Ben? What were your macro thoughts on this sucker?
I liked it. I feel like it has a lot of potential to be great. I thought the pilot was we met some interesting characters and stuff, which was really funny. I was definitely chuckling. But it kind of felt like a big sizzle reel. It felt like I was watching the thing that they used to sell this show to the network. And I kind of wanted to get into like the meat of the show more. But I feel like in the second episode, we're going to get into it more. Because I was sort of like a little surprised that they didn't actually have the dancing competition in the first episode. I mean, I guess they're just like, it was the cliffhanger. Maybe they just couldn't fit it all in that first episode. But I feel like it has a lot of upside. Like, I feel good about it.
I do too. I mean, I was cracking up during this whole thing, and it's funny because it's kind of like what my nieces go through, because they do volleyball and cheer, and especially with the cheer stuff, because you pay all this money, you have to go to all these classes, you have to have special coaches, you have to have special outfits, you have to have hair and makeup, and you have to fly to all these different places, like at least every month, and then just the money spent and how serious everybody gets and how serious all the moms get. But this is like ladies our age doing it. And it is really funny. It's a life I've never really seen before and had no idea existed. I didn't know this was a thing.
Yeah. And I like the casting. I like that we have like the rich one, like the rich stern one. Then we have like the bossy one, who's like very self-involved. And then we have like the nice one. And then we have the one who's sort of like the underdog, which the ones that would be Leonie and Sabrina and Colette and Donnie. That's what I was talking about there with that. So I think like the casting is like really good. And then there's another woman we haven't even met yet. Well, I guess I'll come in episode 2. But I think it's got a lot of potential. I love these scrappy shows about that kind of go under the radar with Bravo. Like some of them are just like so fun. But like you've said many times, like I've said, this definitely has one season wonder written all over it.
Yeah, I don't see this getting picked up. I don't see this being something that people jump on. But so far I have high hopes that it will and that it'll go great. But let's see. Let's just get into it.
Yeah, let's see. Maybe it will. So the episode opens up. We see kind of like a trailer for the season. I'm not going to get into that, but one thing that I thought was really funny was that towards the end of the trailer, they're like, every weekend is a different competition in a different city. And it says New Orleans, Stamford, Atlanta, Dallas. And I'm like, how did Stamford, Connecticut get in the mix there? Like Stamford, Connecticut, where there's like a Bennigan's and the World Wrestling Federation, it just was like very funny to me that they just like put up Stamford in big letters like it was a metropolis.
And they basically, this is all like Ballroom is all addiction. There's no narcotic like it. And then someone's like, dancing is like the best sex. It's like if you win, it's the biggest orgasm. And then someone else is like, I schedule my life around dancing. That's all I care about. And then someone else is like, bitches, beware, I dance to win. And they're all just like odd people talking about like spending all this money. And then when you have a coach, you have to have a coach. And these are all like dance pros. These are all skeevy dance coach guys, right? Who are like, I make my money buttoning my shirt on down to my belly button and making dance with older ladies, they're all like slick haired and spray tanned. And they just travel around town to town being taken care of by these wealthier ladies who pay everything for them. They pay their fees, they pay their hotel, they pay their food, and they are kind of like their escorts,
Yeah. They're like Sparky Pilastri escorts, So we start with Leonie It's Leonie, right?
Leonie, yeah, she's Leonie. She's in New
She's-
York City, and we know she's the
in-
lead because they start off with a ripoff of Beyonce's "Crazy in Love." It's like dun 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 dun. I was like, wow, you changed one note. You changed one note.
Got me expressing that I'm in a fury of affection. Got me feeling a fury of affection.
Your dance has got me looking like drugs right now. Your dance has got me looking like a druggie right now. Oh, yes. An addiction. A drug addiction.
So Leonie, you know, she's in New York City too because she's very serious and she's a New Yorker. So she has a severe bob. She has a bob and she walks very sternly. She walks down sidewalks very fast and very hard. She's like, got to get someplace because I'm a New Yorker. Even though she lives in New Jersey.
Yes, and she's also got lady who started in Chicago and never left Chicago. And I mean the new cast of Chicago. Like she started... How long has that show been on now? 20 years?
Like, I mean, 30 years almost.
Yeah, like she started right at the beginning and she's just still in it holding onto that bob. And she's not going to fucking let it go.
She's got that Fosse bob. And so, yeah, we see her, she's like stomping into rehearsal, like, now it's time for me to go to rehearsal because I'm a professional. But she's not a professional. She is an amateur. Because the whole thing with this, by the way, is that all the women are amateur dancers and all their partners are professional dancers. It's like an amateur professional combo, like an actual, like officially professional. So it's 9 days until competition and she's got to she's going to go to rehearsal with Costa. He's a pro.
Costa. It's like an oyster, but with a K.
Oyster.
So Coista's like, shall we start? 1, 2, 3, cha-cha. 1, 2, 3, cha-cha. 1, 2, 3, cha-cha. I was like, I love this show. I was obsessed. So she's like, ballroom dancing is a narcotic. It's a high. Not that I'm a druggie. Jesus Christ. It becomes almost like an out-of-body experience. When I walk onto the dance floor, I transform into Cleopatra with a bob. And that's my alter ego. Cleopatra was a force to be reckoned with. She didn't go into battle to lose, and I don't either. She was everything I want to be, but she wasn't a wife or a mother in New Jersey. I'm Cleopatra with a 1, 2, 3, cha-cha.
That's right, my alter ego is Cleopatra, and unfortunately, Cleopatra has roots in New Jersey because that's where I also live, by the way. So then we see her, in New Jersey town. We see geese crossing the road. Very Cleopatra battle, cha-cha-cha-cha. And she's like doing like a dance thing through her kitchen. She's like sidling through her kitchen, like, I have my dance narcotic at all times, especially in the kitchen. She's like, cha-cha-cha.
And her husband, Nigel, comes out. This kind of nerdy guy with glasses. And, he's a very patient husband. And he's just like, oh, hi, honey. Hello, honey. And she's like, well, I started because I'm impatient. So, this morning I had a very important call with you at Nigel. And he's like, did you, darling? She's like, yes. I work in investment banking for a very large investment firm. My role is risk management. We invest with the goal of making rich people more money.
And then we see footage of her like stomping into, she's like wearing all white, like stomping into an office building. Like, I work in finance. I work for a financial institution. I had a call with Europe. And so then we see her on the phone. She's like, and I hate to point out the obvious, but clearly I need to. #finance.
There's a lot on the line here and not the chorus line. Right? And so she's like, people could lose their life savings if we do something wrong. I like having that sense of adrenaline because it keeps me in shape and on my toes and addicted to drugs. Did I say that again? I've got to stop saying that.
I'm addicted to drugs, the twin drug cocktail of dance and finance, and they rhyme.
So then she's telling Nigel, like, how crazy her life has been this morning. And she's like, Nigel, I managed to knock out yoga. I did a quick jog, and I managed to get the munchkin off to school. And then we see a shot of the nanny taking the kid to school. I was like, wow, so you exercised twice.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying.
And then she says, my daughter Charlotte is 6 years old, and Charlotte has some like very, very, very like good traits, and they're all her dad. And all the shitty bits, that's from me. That's from me. I'm all the shitty bits. It's like Dr. Evil and Mini-Me if Mini-Me was small and didn't work in finance.
Yeah, I thought her name was Shallot, and I really love that name for a kid. My daughter Shallot.
I want to pickle her.
So then we see a kid making like a little house, and the kid goes, "Shit, it's looking old." She goes, "Oh, what is that, Charlotte?"
It's freaking cold.
Oh, it's freaking cold. She goes, "What's that, Charlotte?"
cold.
You have to whisper those kind of things. You can't say that. She goes, "Why? You do it." She goes, "Yeah, but I don't want people to think I'm a bad mom. And sure, I say the F words, but I don't say it out loud, do I? I whisper it." And she goes, "Shit, Charlotte." She goes, "You just said it." She goes, "I whispered it, didn't I?"
I whispered it. Listen, once you start working in finance, you can say the S word, but until you do, go play with your castle without the S word. So Nigel's like, so I know I asked you to take up a hobby, but like, do you think that maybe you've taken it a bit too far? Like, I sort of miss when you didn't have a bob. And she's like, well, what would you rather me doing? Horse riding? Doing something stupid? Working in non-finance?
And he's like, "Well, I look at the bills, and it's just sort of." She says, "Well, I don't get into debt to do the dancing, do I? I just spend what I've got and what you've got as well." He's like, "That's my point." She's like, "Would you rather pay for therapy? Because I could easily go back to Taekwondo or do some senior competitions, but I never lost at that, so it's not appealing to me."
She's just like quietly a Taekwondo master, I guess.
We just see like people limping down the street, like trying to exercise. She's like, "Oh my God, just that lady who beat me in Taekwondo again."
Risk management. Here's a way to manage your risk. Don't get in the ring with me, bitch. So she goes, I want to be extraordinary. I don't want participation awards. You want the best today? Then suck that shit up and use it to make yourself better. Get a severe bob and work in finance and get on that dance floor where it's a drug.
Then we hear her plot. Her plot is that Troy State comps are coming up, and I have so much stout because I've got a new partner. Now, listen, I've no doubts this kid is ready, but I want us to both be ready because I'm a perfectionist, and I know I'm not an easy person to partner with, but Oyster, like oyster with a K, did I mention that already, has handled my idiosyncrasies top notch. I mean, if this was Taekwondo, he'd be at least second.
He's even taken on a bob just for me with the Bobbsey twins, quite literally, and he's starting to study for finance. He just has taken on all my idiosyncrasies. So I don't do half-assed. Failure is not a part of my vocabulary. Backing out of something because I'm too scared, perhaps that is in my vocabulary, but failure is not.
I know. I loved all of her vernacular. It's like, oh, losers are losers. No one's going to give them a prize anyway. And then she's like, I quit. I'm not going to do it.
I don't believe in participation trophies. You suck it up and you just do what you have to do. Hi, I don't want to do it. Bye.
Yeah, I'm not going to do this. I'm not good enough.
I'm not going to do it. I'm scared of the rumba. Rumba's scary.
Now, listen, one thing I'm not scared of, narcotics. The other thing, Taekwondo masters. The third thing,
like I said,
finance. The one thing I am scared of, the rumba.
You know what? Like I said to my client at the financial institution, I hate to point out the obvious, but clearly I need to. There, that was me doing finance.
So then we get some upbeat horn music, and we go to Sabrina in Toronto. And Sabrina's 44, and she lives in a mansion. And she's got a bookshelf in her kitchen with all of her trophies. I'm like, okay, A, why do you have a bookshelf in your kitchen? And B, no one wants to look at your trophies while we're trying to eat. Like, get a room. Get a room for yourself and your trophies.
Okay, Get a room. Yeah, so she's cooking something and she's like, I try to be the perfect mom and wife, and there's a Jewish word we call it Ballaboost. Okay, that means we do everything and we're great mothers and no one even respects us. I mean, for crying out loud, do I get any respect? I'm doing everything in this household. Okay, that's Ballaboost.
It's like a job. We do everything in the household. We cook, we clean, we manage, cha-cha-cha, do homework with the kids. Dancing keeps me sane. I was like, you're not sane. I've known you for 5 seconds, and I can tell you this. You, ma'am, are not sane. Okay?
You're not sane.
No.
You are not a sane person. You're a very scary person. So her friend Alyssa comes over, and then her husband Ronnie comes over, and he's like, Shabbat Shalom, because it's Shabbat. And Sabrina's like, I was 19 when I met Ronnie. He was 36. And then we see pictures of them in 2007. She was not 19 in 2007, right? She's 44 now.
She was not 19. No, she looks 44 in that picture. Than when
She
met
does.
Ronnie.
Wait, if she was, so 40, so that would be 25 years ago. So those pictures don't reflect when they first met. Okay, because I built this whole theory of like, if they met in 2007 and she's claiming that she was 19 in 2007 and now she's I was going to do this whole thing about how she's like totally like lying about her age, but I just think those pictures were taken like way after they met. So I rescind.
Maybe, but he looks completely different. He looks totally different than he does now.
He has, people age at different rates, and he aged at a different rate than his wife.
He became a different person. He doesn't even look like the older version. It looks like he was recast by an actor.
Yeah, he looked like, he went from like Matt Damon to John Turturro.
Yeah, he really did. So she's like, yeah, I was 19 when I met Ronnie. He was 36, and I used to work for his company. I was like, this sounds like a Whitney situation. But I think this was a Whitney situation. So
Whitney Rose.
Whitney Rose, yes. He was the president, and I knew either we were getting married or we're just having sex. And I got both. I always get what I want. Oh, wrong hand. I always get what I want. Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, you go. You got Ronnie. Just look at him. Fucking tiger over there.
She's like, cheers to a new season of dance. And Ronnie goes, new season, win. Ronnie talks like Martin Scorsese. That's what his voice is. He's like, wait, new season, win. When I was working with De Niro, I'd always say, win that Oscar. And then, of course, we did Raging Bull together with Kathy. Kathy was great. She was wonderful. She did Soap Dish. Loved her work there. Wanted her to come back for the party. She never did. Okay, Ronnie, you know what? It's not a show about your movies. It's a show about my dancing.
So Sabrina's like, we're going to Connecticut for Tri-State. I always, I was always an A, but now I just switched to B. And she explains dancing competitions are divided into age groups. Group A is 16 to 35. Group B is 36 to 50. Group C is 51 to 60. I was like, so you've been staying in A? Girl, you're a C. We all know you're a C, ma'am. Okay.
And she goes, you know what? I never wanted to get old. And even when I was older, I stayed in A, what you could do. I'm like, cut to like the president of the A group receiving his like 10th petition in a row. Hi, this is from Sabrina, and I am petitioning to stay in A. You cannot kick me out. I refuse to be kicked out. You must make me stay.
It's like a fruit basket.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
New beginnings are in season on the Max original series, and just like that.
From executive producer Michael Patrick King, alongside stars and executive producers Sarah Jessica Parker, Cynthia Nixon, and Kristen Davis, the exciting next chapter of Sex and the City follows Carrie, Miranda, and Charlotte as they navigate the complicated reality of life, love, and friendship in their 50s.
Alongside Naya, Che, Seema, and LTW, this vibrant group of friends experiences the ups and downs of life, knowing they can always count on each other.
Watch the brand new 11-episode season of And Just Like That, streaming only on Max.
And listen to the official podcast hosted by executive producer, writer, and director Michael Patrick King after every episode.
Find And Just Like That, The Writer's Room, wherever you get your podcasts.
So she's like, but now I'm moving into B, which is like my age group, and these women are strong, And Ronnie goes, hey, you want to smoke them? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to smoke them? Yeah, it's what you should do. De Niro would do it. De Niro would smoke them, babe.
Yeah, it's like when I was making my movie Hugo, it was a big clock. We said, let's smoke this clock. Okay, Ronnie, enough. I'm talking about my dancing.
So now she's starting all over with her pro, Stas. And she's like, she and Stas work together for a while, but they bicker and they fight and they don't like each other.
Yeah. And she's like, Stas promised me he would make me a champion. And to this day, I've won every major competition at least once. 2016, 2018, 2017, which, we went forward and then we went back again. I don't really know why we did that, but it's what my age does as well, which is crazy. So, it's just come to the point where we had to stop dancing before I stabbed him in the eye with the heel of my shoe.
Producer's like, would you really gonna do that? She's like, oh, on many occasions. So she's like, so even though we're comfortable with each other, I have to relearn everything, and so does he. So now we see them in rehearsal, and so she's with Stas, and there's a coach named Miriam, and she's like, okay, so go make beautiful line, but let him do it. Let him make beautiful line. She's like, no. I'm gonna do the line. I'm gonna do the line. You're making pretzel, not the line. It's a line.
And Stas is just like, oh, you're doing it for me, okay? Could we not do it for me? Because I make the line. And the instructor's like, not a good idea. You know what? Let him play with your weight. And she's like, what? So I don't do anything? No, you don't do anything. Oh my God, he's playing with my weight. I hate when he plays with my weight. Stas is like, I play with your weight. You let me play with your weight.
Can I lead you? Can I lead you? And she's like, well, I feel like you're holding me from going. He's like, but this is how we lead. Okay, action, reaction. As in, I'm action, your reaction. I'm man, you're woman, you follow me.
And the instructor's like, I think you guys deserve each other, is what you deserve. And so she's like, this is like a marriage. No offense, Ronnie. No offense. He's like, yeah, you know what? I think every relationship boils down to trust. You know, I said, Pacino, do you trust De Niro? Yes. And listen, I trust you as a wife. I trust you as a person. Otherwise, I couldn't stand another man grabbing your ass and your boobs every day. I'll tell you that much. Am I right? Am I right, everyone?
Ronnie, it's my scene. Okay, so listen, he doesn't do that. He doesn't touch my boobs, okay? Yes, he does. Of course he touches your boobs. What are you talking about? It's like when I was directing Pfeiffer and Ryder in Age of Innocence. I was like, stop touching each other's boobs.
He gets to touch your boobs more than I do. I'll tell you that much. And she's like, Ronnie, I'm tired at the end of the night. Can we stop? Okay, I need more wine if we're going to talk about this. So then we go to Scottsdale to meet Crazy Face Colette.
She's very Amy Sedaris.
She's played by Amy Sedaris. Yeah, it was like the first thing we said when we saw her. She also looks like Sabrina's sister. They look just like sisters to me. I think they look alike. So she's got this really intense kind of smile where I think she's acting nice. She does not look nice. She looks like she could rip the head off of a baby chick with her face, like her mouth.
I thought she was going to be the craziest one, but I actually thought she seemed actually like the nicest one. She seems so nice.
She came across that way, but I've got a sense.
Well, she has too many animals to be that nice, right? It's like a cover. So she's like, I have all these animals. I live almost in a zoo. Like currently I've got 3 dogs, Prince, Bo, and Butters. And then I've got 6 cats, Ovi, Kuzia, Luna, Snow, my favorite thing in the whole world, Toby. And then this like random mean bitchy cat named Paschetti who just showed up my door and just like never left.
And I've also got 2 tortoises named Hercules and Tank. So at least my bed is warm. I don't know. That might have sounded a little bit freaky. That's not what I meant.
We should also mention that Colette is in Scottsdale, Arizona. And I was like, of course. Like, you could not have a show like this without one cast member in, like, the Phoenix, Scottsdale area, right? Like, like there clearly had to be someone from Arizona on this show.
Ding dong. So, Nicole, the friend with just her, like, supportive, quote unquote, friend, who I think Nicole is leading her down the wrong road. First of all, I think Nicole is not supportive. I think she's trying to wreck your life. I'm telling you that right now. She brings her a sparkle dress because she's the supportive one. Don't forget. And she's herself is wearing some odd cotton dress from the 90s. It's like she's in an odd thing. This whole scene is very odd. So Colette's like, is it too early for a drink, Nicole? And Nicole's like, come on now, Colette. I can do a pop.
Well, I think maybe she's from like Maine and referring to soda as pop. Because I think that's like a Maine or a Massachusetts thing to say like, I'll have some pop.
I'll do a pop. And she's like, okay, I'm going to join you for a pop then. So Calvin, the son, comes in. And she's like, oh my God, Calvin is getting so tall. Calvin, you are so tall. Can you believe how tall Calvin is? Hey, hold on. I'm going to go. I'm going to go
every time I see him.
Yeah, I'm going to go talk to this tortoises. Hey, tortoise and tortoise, isn't Calvin tall? And you're like, God, what's Nicole's deal? And then Colette's like, my son has a weird gene disorder called Tattenbrown Ramen syndrome. And only 250 people in the world have them. And it's an overgrowth syndrome. I'm like, oh, really? So Nicole, your supportive friend, just comes in and talks about how tall he is for 10 minutes in a row. Really?
I know. I was like, what the hell is up with that? Like, I can't believe she was like, you're just getting taller every single day. I'm like, this is probably the kid's one of his biggest insecurities. And you're like bringing that up. I was like, how rude. Yeah. So, yeah, he's also on the spectrum. Yeah, he's also on the spectrum And then, Colette's saying that he's just like really funny and laid back and all these wonderful things and that he's the light of her life.
But I can't believe how tall he... It's called Tatten Brown Ramen, Nicole. Fucking A. Just drink your pop. Would you?
For crying out loud. How many times does Colette have to tell you about Tatten Brown Ramen, okay? So then she says again, like, I can't believe how tall he is. And then a cutaway to your favorite golden retriever with a tennis ball in its mouth.
These fucking dogs, I'm telling you, no matter when you see a golden retriever, these dogs are fucking addicts. I've never seen a dog that addicted to something. These dogs love their balls. They cannot and it's always a tennis ball, and they cannot stop staring at it. This one, isn't this one he has it in the pool and he's staring at it in the pool under the water and holding it down?
There's all of it. He like drops it at one point. So then Colette is the owner of a physical therapy business. She's like, yeah, so I was doing physical therapy and it was just like, it was so much work. So I thought, well, why don't I just like buy a company? Cause that won't be as much work. I'm like, Colette, so I want to just like explain some principles about working. If you buy the company, it's gonna be more work. So but she's doing caretaking for people with developmental delays and disabilities, which is really lovely. And she also has a really hot employee. So she's doing all the right things, I have to say.
She does have a hot employee, yeah.
Jake. I was like, I'd like to know more about Jake. Can we have Jake come on next time instead of Nicole?
Yeah. And she's like, it's emotionally draining to be the mom of a kid with special needs, also being the sole owner of a business, being a mother to all these pets, but I can't carry the weight with me everywhere. I have to have an outlet for it. And that's murdering people in my head. Dance. It's dance.
Dance is the outlet that I've chosen.
Cut to dancing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ben. Sorry about that.
Yeah. If I didn't have dance in my life, I think I would have a lot of Xanax. But you know what's funny? I actually do have a lot of Xanax, so I guess. Oh, well.
And then we cut to her dancing with Alex, her professional guy. He's like, cha 1, cha 2, cha 3, and stop.
And she lost her old partner. And
yeah,
she
was
saying to Nicole,
it's like sad music's playing. She's like, well, I suddenly lost my partner, Christian. And Nicole's like, I thought everything was going well with Christian. Was he getting taller? And Colette's like, no, it was going really well. But then he thought he could do better with someone else. So she goes, he dumped you? She's like, well, I did. I got partner dumped, Nicole. I got partner dumped. Okay, thanks.
Was it because of your personality? Oh, he didn't like your personality either. Gosh, that happens to you a lot, doesn't it? God, and your son is just getting taller. It's like, thanks, Nicole. Thanks for everything, Nicole.
And Colette's like, so Christian was my partner for a couple of years, and then he decided to go a separate way, and I thought he cared a little bit about me, and so it broke my heart. It did. But then this guy, Alex, was asking me about Christian, and I started crying, and he was like, I'm sorry I asked. But then he says, so I guess I'm going to be doing competitions with you now. And then he just put his bag in my trunk and got on his knees and lifted up my skirt, and the rest is history. I'm like, what is going on? What kind of...
He said something about his friend Rizzo, saying that he should come talk to me, and that if this didn't work out, he'd have to go down to Florida. I don't know. Did you hear anything about that? Does that sound familiar?
So then we see that Nicole is seeing that her friend is kind of taking this like dancer relationship a little too seriously, right? Because she is like, it was like being broken up. I thought he cared about me, right? So Nicole is making it worse. That's why I'm saying she's not a good friend. So she's, oh my God. So you're saying that this guy, Alex, asked you out? I mean, as a dance partner, but still. And she just knows Colette's doing this for the hotness. And so
Nicole's a disaster.
Nicole.
No, I'm sorry. You know what? Nicole is that friend that like overprograms you. Is like, hey, so in 3 weekends, I have an idea. Let's go up the coast. There's this great little playhouse. We're going to walk around. We're going to shop. We'll have lunch at this place. I love it so much. We're going to have seafood by the dock. And then we're going to go to the playhouse and we're going to watch our town. Let's just do it. We're going to do that on Saturday. Is everyone in? Is everyone in it? And you're like, God, Nicole,
I think she's just pushing her friend into bad situations, like for her own amusement. You know, she's like, "Oh, Colette, that guy's cute. He's single. He's not single. He's married. He's like the married father of one of my clients. I can't. Oh well, who cares? Who wasn't married once? Am I right? Just go for it, Colette. I think he likes you. He's looking at you, Colette.
Married is just another way of saying future single." So Colette
she's just pushing her into bad ideas. You could just see it. So we see Colette dancing.
She was like,
with
"Hey,
her
Colette,
partner.
you want to get a tortoise? I think you should totally get a tortoise. You want to get another cat? Hey, there's a cat. Do you mind if I just put this like saucer of milk on your front stoop and see what happens? Oh, look, you got this random bitchy cat named Biscotti. Congratulations."
She's like, well, you were right about taking Alex because Alex is the best looking thing to come out of the Ukraine. I can tell you that much. I mean, he's really cute. I was like, it's now the time to be judging people's looks in the Ukraine, Colette. Keep it together.
So Nicole's like, do you have to be in the same competition as your ex-partner? Because that would be so awkward. I hope that doesn't get into your head. I hope you don't like get out there on the dance floor and see him and then be like, I can't do this. And then you totally choke. I would hate for you to choke when you see your old dance partner who dumped you.
But I guess the best thing you can do is shine with your new husband. I mean, dance partner. Am I right?
So, and she's like, the best thing you can do is kick butt each time, assuming you're not feeling too much shame about that whole situation about being dumped.
So then we go back to Leone in NYC, and she's meeting her friend Donnie, all right? And so Donnie is like a bigger, like voluptuous blonde lady with really short hair. And I thought Donnie was going to have an accent. Doesn't she look like it? Doesn't Donnie
It looks like she probably uses a fake one when... It looks like she uses a fake one when she needs it. She's like, hello, my name is Donnie and I work in finance and I need a reservation, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I was expecting that, but she's not. She's like, oh, hi, I'm taller than you for once. And Leonie's like, well, I know, I'm the beanstalk in the group. Well, God, I really need to get this pedicure. My feet look like a bucket of smashed crabs.
Donnie's like, never heard that before. A bucket of smashed crabs. Is that a thing? She's like, of course it's a thing in finance. They always say, close that deal, otherwise you'll get a bucket of smashed crabs. Never heard that before?
Donnie and I have met at a performance, a group performance 3 years ago. It was so bad, but the one good thing I got out of it was Donnie's friendship. And now we're in a sorority of foreign sisters. We're as crazy as each other's, and that's kind of the initiation. You know, how crazy can you be for dance? That's how we find out if we're sisters or not. You know, I first said to her, would you throw yourself out in front of traffic for dance? And she said, in front of a goddamn bus. And I said, sisters for life, bitch.
And I said, here's a hammer and here's a bucket of crabs. Go at it. So
I said, would you get addicted to narcotics for dance? Donnie said, might as well be. Dance is narcotic. And I said, fuck yeah, sister.
All right, how crazy can you be? How about this? Can you walk quickly into a financial institution and get on the phone and say, obviously you didn't hear me the first time. Do it.
So why did she say they're foreign sisters? Where's Donnie from?
She said Ballroom Sisters.
Oh, I thought she said foreign sisters. Oh.
Yeah, Ballroom. But I didn't want to correct you because, you know what? I didn't think that would be so crazy as dance would be. So Leone is like, Donnie is one of the best dancers in the category. She's the whole package. She doesn't have a bob. She doesn't work in finance. I guess she's actually not really a package at all, now that I think about it.
And Donnie's like, yeah, I've been dancing since I was 2-3 years old. And then we just see a clip of a 2-year-old like raising her leg. Yeah. And she's like, in high school, I was on the dance team. And then in college, I was in dance performance. And now I compete in Latin ballroom. Dance is just this like place I can really express myself and just be me. So I dance 5 days a week. And the other 2 days, I have my headphones in and I'm thinking of dancing.
And Leonie's like, I never thought I'd be taking the whole pre-comp process as serious as I do now, but I guess I'm at that point where I call it the pre-comp process instead of the pre-competition process. I'm taking it very seriously, like my bob and finance.
And Donnie's like, oh my God, remember those days? I used to do my own makeup. And she's like, yeah, we're drag queens in women's bodies, aren't we? I think there's a more tradition. Oh, no, sorry. This is Donnie. Donnie, let's go back to your voice. Donnie's like, I think there's a more traditional Latin body type. They're very svelte and petite. But guess what? That's not me. And then we see a clip of 2017 of her doing a backbend in Latin dance.
Yeah. And Leonie's like, she's beautiful. She's got those legs. I mean, she's got those bazooks, man. I mean, that would get you real far in finance. Too bad she never went into it. So Donnie's like, she's like, I've been with my partner, Ilya, for 8 years. And Ilya is not my dance boyfriend. Like, a lot of people want a girlfriend experience. Like, let's go out to dinner and like, let's go see a show before the competition. But like, I'm paying for a dance partner, not a gigolo.
And Leonie's like, what's your secret, girl? She goes, well, I know that no other teacher would let me do what I like or what I want, but he does. So some things I just feel so silly doing, and I'm not going to do them. And he's like, that's fine, Donnie. And Leonie's like, oh, I know what you mean. The slut drop. And she goes, yeah, the slut drop. She's like, I can't with the slut drop. And the producer's like, could you show us the slut drop? And she's like, oh, I will. First you do a twirl, and then you squat down, and boom, slut drop. Unfortunately, this was called slut drop and a bob, though.
This is called slut drop with smashed crab feet, unfortunately. It's a little variation. So she goes, you know, there's this one woman, she spends her entire rumba with her legs open, and like you could see her coochie. Like, I can't look at that coochie. And Donnie's like, I mean, she has her whole crotch of like on her dress rhinestone. I mean, I just have my nipples rhinestone just for a little pizzazz, but not my crotch.
So then we're back at Colette's, and she's feeding her turtles. And she's like, oh, I don't have any more turtles. Sorry. Oh, God. Okay. I'll go get you some more.
So Sabrina calls up.
that she's inferring all of this turtle's feelings. Like, turtles literally barely move. Okay. She's like, oh, gosh, you're upset? All right. I'll go get you some more turtle.
I think she was going to get the turtle more apple to eat. I thought she was having an apple shortage.
Yeah.
And, okay. So, I see what you're saying. Get you some more, turtle. I thought you meant like get the turtle more turtle companions.
Oh,
like,
no.
Oh, you look sad today.
She's
okay,
feeding
well,
the
I'll get you some more
turtle. She's a real sicko.
We found it. Ronnie's like, I knew something was up.
I knew she was crazy. I could just tell.
Oh my God, my chest just cramped. Feeding the turtle.
I'm sorry, I guess I should have mentioned she was feeding the turtle an apple. So Sabrina calls, and so we find out that Sabrina and Colette, not only do they look like sisters, but they're friends. So Colette's like, I've just been dancing so long, so I don't really have friends. I just have dance friends and turtle friends who eat my other turtle friends. It gets awkward.
I call it Soylent Green and, Turtle Green. So the turtles, the Soylent Green is made of turtles. So Sabrina's like, we have a bond. Like, unless you're in this world, you don't understand it. And so Colette's like, Sabrina and I were like never competing against each other in the same age group, but like now we are. Like, clearly these two are going to become huge rivals.
Yeah, and she's like, I've never been B. Oh, no, Sabrina's like, I've never been B, but I'm not intimidated to dance against any of the women, including Turtle Time. I mean, Colette, the turtle lady. I mean, you know what I mean. And Colette's like, I think I'm prepared, but I'm a little nervous because me and Alex are so new together, but I think it's going good. But, it was kind of like a divorce. I mean, he's a completely different dancer and different personality, but Nicole said I should fuck him, so I'm gonna try that. No, who's this Nicole? Stop hanging out with fucking Nicole, I told you.
Listen, I'm just excited to see you, okay? Because I'm so excited to dance with you because we've never been on the floor together. I'm so excited for when you eventually choke and I succeed over you. Sorry, Nicole was calling me beforehand. She filled me in on everything.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
Oh, Colleen's like, honestly, I think she should have just stayed in the A group because she's going to be in the C group anyway pretty soon. So she could just skip the B group completely and then I wouldn't have to dance against her. It's like, wow. Colleen's really coming out of you now, huh?
And then while she's sitting there, a ball drops like right in front of her face. And she's like, what? And she looks up and the golden retriever has dropped its ball. It's above her on a deck. Has dropped the ball in front of her.
It dropped off the balcony.
Do it.
Make her throw the ball.
What the fuck are you doing still on the phone? This is ball time.
Those dogs are sick, I'm telling you. So 48 hours till the competition. So Leonie goes to the dancing studio. And she's like, I've got a private with Karina. Bring it on. It's $2.80 an hour. Guess what? I'm not afraid of prices because I'm in finance. Bring it on. Stomp, stomp.
Karina Smirnoff, she was on Dancing with the Stars. Well, guess what? Now she's on Dancing with the Finance, okay? Guess what? Welcome to your first bob, Karina. You ready to show me how to do the rumba?
Yeah, and Karina's like, hey, are you from England? Oh, your accent is so sexy. She's like, no, don't you stop that, Karina. All right, you little silky-voiced lady. Come on, let's do this. Let's dance.
I have a massive girl crush on Karina, okay? Not that I'm gay. That's ridiculous. A ridiculous insinuation that I'm gay. Like, this is literally basically just like drag queens dancing right now. So,
yeah. So they're basically dancing. So Karina's just going to give her a coaching session with her partner, right? So they bring in the partner, and it's Coista. So he comes in, and Leonie's like, but if we're not ready, we're not going to Tri-State because, listen, I'm not going to look stupid at Tri-State, all right? I've got to show my face on Wall Street Monday.
Yeah. And she's very insecure about her rumba because it goes slowly. And so she's like exposed. And so Karina's watching and she's like, da, da, da. And Leona's trying to do a kick and Karina's like, no, can you extend your foot like the world's peace depends on the extension of your leg. She's like, all right, well, I'll do it quickly and stupidly because that's a stupid idea and I want to be over with it quick.
World peace is literally idiotic. Could you compare it to something else so I can get it? Like, world peace is never going to happen. Could you make it, all right, I'm going to lift my leg like I care about finance. Oh, God, there it goes. There it goes. Finally, I got it. Good.
I'm going to lift my leg like the way I walk through a revolving door in a financial institution with authority.
So then Karina's like, oh, now arch in, because this move has gooiness, like molasses. It's not thin, it has thickness. My God, maybe I am gay, actually, Nathan. It's crazy. It's Karina Smirnoff is hot one toddy, I'll tell you that much.
Is she saying I'm fat, calling me molasses? I don't understand this. And Karina's like, okay. She's like, this is what I told Mario Lopez when I danced with him, okay? I would have it, just give it a little bit with angle versus straight. Be more, this is what I told Mario, be more extra. Get it? See what I did there? How about this? Why don't you access Hollywood with your leg right now with world peace?
So she coaches her and she's telling her, like, be confident in yourself. You know, that's the most important thing in being a dancer. And Leonie's like, oh, I just wish I could let go. Just let go and dance. Just let go and all that jazz. God, sorry, I got to beat my day job. So then we go
and all that finance.
We go to Sabrina and all that tax. You better come on down. Take 20% right off top. Boom, boom, boom.
He had it coming. He had it coming. He had risk management coming all along.
So then we go back to Sabrina in Toronto, and she's in her studio dancing with her partner. And her partner is the funniest to me because I think he's like the most aging. Like, he's the most ready to be put out to pasture, I think, of all of the partners. And he's also the bitchiest. And he's going to ride this Sabrina train until retirement. But he's like just trying to not murder her. And it's so funny to me.
Right.
I don't know why.
Because he kind of does give like an energy of murder mystery butler. Right, like he sort of is like murder mystery butler who also is a ballroom professional.
He comes across as being that he's like this guy I waited tables with when I was like 18 in New York, and Guillermo, and he was like really nice, but a little too formal, and always like, so how was your day today, Ronnie? Like it was a weirdness about him. And I remember one time he put the espresso thing in the, you fill the espresso thing and smash it and then you put it in the machine and you turn it on, but he hadn't clicked it in all the way. So it kind of exploded on him. And I went, oh, ha ha. Like I laughed. And then he went, you laugh at other people's misfortune? That's the kind of person you are. And then he stormed out of the restaurant. And I was like, whoa. And I just never saw that coming. And I know that's a long story to say, but this is the same vibe that this guy is giving me, where it's just time for him to stop. He doesn't need to be making espresso anymore. He's over it.
No. It's over. That being said, I think I'm on Stas's side this entire scene. I'm like, listen to Stas. So basically, they're dancing, and he's like, when you travel, focus on where you're going. Think about where your feet go and where I am. And she's like, I just really love the act of dancing and the feeling it evokes in me, which is the feeling of knowing that I'm doing everything the way I want to do it and I don't want to hear any other input. And it's the only place where I get to be the center of attention. It's all about me.
And Leonie tells us everyone knows Sabrina. She's the best of the best, but she's really extra. What can I tell you? She's also an extra big liar about her age. All right, but we'll find out more about that later. Group C. Okay.
Seriously. So Sabrina's like, okay, so seriously. Well, hi, I hope you had a good rest on your silly posturpedic. So Sabrina's like, she's like, hey, Stas, so remember we changed the turn. So now you're doing this, but I turn much faster than your counts. And he's like, well, so I should not count? She's like, well, can you count faster? It's not about that. Please listen. She's like, well, I'm trying to listen to, but but what? You want to count? You want to be the one that counts? You want to
oh God, I'm just so Ronnie. Oh God, I'm so used to fighting with Ronnie. That's what I'm calling you, Ronnie. Now, what is wrong with me? And he goes, I don't find your hand. I'm trying to find. And she's like, well, I'm not finding your hand. He's like, well, ask yourself why you not find my hand. And she's like, I'm asking you, where is your hand? You don't find it because you are not focused on me.
She's like, Stas and I fight like husband and wife, and it's like a power struggle all the time, and he doesn't think of me as an equal, and that causes problems for both of us. I'm like, because you're not equals.
You're not equals. He's a professional. You're literally paying him to be with you.
You're literally not equals. That is the entire nature of this entire tournament. Professional and amateur. That is the epitome of not equals.
So she's like, I need a second. I need to go get some water. And he's like, no second. There are no seconds with dance. And she's like, when Stas and I danced in a category, we dominated for years. But Tri-State is my first time being in the B category. And people already know us from the past. This is me. It's my comeback. This is everything to me.
And so they start rehearsing more. And he's like, come on, Sabi, move, Sabi. And she's like, why are you here? Why are you here? It's like, well, I'm here because I'm dancing with you. She goes, I'm done. You're here because you want to dance with me. I guess, did she want him to say, I'm here because I'm passionate about this. I want to win.
She turned and expected him to be in a certain place. So she's like, why are you here? And he's like, because I'm doing the dance with you, stupid. And I like how he water shamed her, because when she came off from having a fit, he goes, are you okay now? Maybe you need more water. 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like, ooh.
So he's like, you're just nervous before competition. She's like, I'm not nervous. I just wish I had a partner who would dance. I'm like, he's the professional, lady. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, you are nervous. Look at you. Look at your nervousness. You're stupid. You look stupid all over the place. Look at you. There's stupid hair, stupid face, stupid nervousness, stupid water drinking.
And so she's pissed. She's like, I'm done with this. He goes, oh, you're done in general because you for once. You're done in general, or you're done for one practice. Is this breakup or is this makeup? Tell me now. And she's like, I'm leaving. But she leaves her bag there. So we know that she came back eventually.
God, she's probably so annoying to work with. So now it's 24 hours until the big Tri-States in Stamford, Connecticut. And then they're packing, people are packing. Sabrina's asking for money from Ronnie. And then Donnie is calling her mom while she packs. And then Leonie is FaceTiming Donnie. And she's like, oh my God, Donnie, are you in bed right now? That's so unfinance of you. And she's like, no, I'm in a car. Oh, thank God. Is your driver, does he have a bob by any chance? Because that'd be really awesome.
And she's like, well, guess what? Bad news for you, Johnny. I'm not ready. I'm not psychologically in that zone. And if I do shit, it will mentally fuck me over the next year. All right, I can't do shit. So I'm hedging my risk. You know how nerdy I can be about risk management. I'm in finance, but best of luck tomorrow. Sorry I'm missing out on the pilot episode of my own show that they've made me the lead of.
Here's the thing. I don't mind failing in Atlanta or New Orleans or any major U.S. city, but failing in Stamford, Connecticut, that's just sad. So I'm just going to skip this one.
Tri-state is failing in 3 states, basically. So I'm not doing that.
I mean, that's where they film Maury Povich. I just can't be in the same place as Maury Povich and fail.
So we see them all traveling to get to Stamford, Connecticut. And Alex, the dancer, is with Colette. And they're checking into the hotel. They're arriving at the hotel. And Colette's like, what people may not understand is that the partnership is deeper than friendship. Because it's not a romantic relationship. But the level of intensity can be similar. And Alex is like, I need help with door. She's like, okay. And he's like, you check in. Go. You check in. She's like, okay.
How do I walk? Move foot. Move right foot. Now move left foot. So Leonie's like, then you hear, the one thing with dancers and the partners is you hear the whole, dare I say, cougar dynamic.
I'm hungry. I want food. And she's like, okay, honey, hold on a second.
Would you like some of my turtle chow? So then Sabrina's saying how, like, you have to pay for their fees, their flights, their hotels, their food. I mean, the cost becomes enormous.
$6,000. It's anywhere between $3,000 to $6,000 per week, right? Per competition.
For like a hobby competition, yeah.
Crazy.
They win anything from the competitions, do we know, or just an award?
I think just like an award, whatever we saw on those bookshelves in the kitchen. So then Alex is like, okay, hotel lady, I'm going to have to do his incidental, so I'll just wait for him to check it. And he goes, I'll do incidental. She goes, oh, really? So why? Because you don't want me to see what you're ordering to the room? So you're going to pay for the hooker yourself then? And he goes, why not hooker?
And then meanwhile, Donnie is saying, when you arrive at the competition, it's like going into this fantasy world of getting to be this different type of person. You go from being a lady with short blonde hair to being a lady with short blonde hair with some feathers on too. It's a huge transformation.
So we see this hotel all the hotel ballrooms are filled with ballroom people dancing.
Yeah.
And they're all telling us how important this is. And Sabrina's like, it's a complete transformation. You get to be princess for a day. And then we see crystals, rhinestones, feathers. And Leonie's like, it's like Mardi Gras. And they're just all so excited. It's so
They are
cute and funny and weird and creepy.
But it's also weird. This felt very much like this is where they inserted the sizzle reel into the pilot. Because I'm like, this is cool and everything, but I want to get me to the dancing. Like, you don't have to tell me all this. We can just see it, and we can because it's pretty obvious that this.
But
is
I think you're right that this was a sizzle. I think you're right.
Like this felt like a
was just
sizzle
the
reel
pilot.
moment.
Yeah,
because they're selling the concept, but it's we're already 40 minutes into the show. I'm sold. I already understand. Dancing with the Stars has been around for 20 years. We get Ballroom. We understand it. So,
well, I think you're right that this is just a pilot that they shopped around and they start shooting because the scenes of the women single, solo, are so long. What would in a Housewives episode, most of these scenes would be 3 or 4 minutes to 5 minutes, and in this they're 20 minutes long, for each lady.
Yeah, and not a lot of group stuff and everything. They barely have a group scene. There's just 3 of them sitting on a sofa waiting to get their hair done, but barely talking to each other. So anyway, but they're talking about all this stuff. It still is very cool.
I also wonder if they added Leonie later. I wonder if they did I wonder if they did some kind of sizzle and added her later, and that's why she doesn't go to Tri-State, because they needed more than just what they had. But I love that someone was so dedicated. I feel like it was some queen who was like, you guys do not understand these fucking dance competitions. We have to cover these. These are amazing. And everyone's like, nah. So we went and did a whole pilot and found all these ladies. And then they were like, you know what? You have something, but we need someone a little more compelling. So they got Leonie. They made the whole thing about her because they really did make this whole pilot about her. And then they added in whoever's new next week to bring in more.
Yeah, there's another woman. I think that's actually 100% correct. I think they started with a core 3 and then You're right, Ronnie.
I'm
So-
right, guys, and our
No, that's a great
imaginary
take.
and our fanfic of pilots. But I like it, and I liked that someone at Bravo was like, you know what? You're crazy. I don't think anyone's going to watch this, but we'll give you a season. Here's $12.
Someone at Bravo was like, I'm not sure if gay people watch our network, but just in case they do, let's give them something. It's like, hello, we're right here. We're here. We're queer, and we want to watch middle-aged women in feathers, please.
Or you know that someone's like, you never know when COVID's coming back. Just get it in the can. Here's $13, and we'll just have it as a just-in-case show.
Yeah. So anyway, they're talking about all this stuff, like the men with the spray tans and the hairspray, yada, yada, yada. So now it's the day of the show. It's 7:30 in the morning. Tri-State. It's Tri-State. And it's Donnie's first ever, it was the first ever competition that Donnie ever did. It was Tri-States. And she's going in for her hair and makeup, and she goes in to see Boyko. Boyko is like a force of nature. Like, and Leonie's like, oh my God, he's Boyko. He does our hair. He does our makeup. He's like Grand Central Station. Everyone's got to go through them to their jobs and finance. Did I just say that? Oh my God.
Sabrina's like, yeah, we all bow down to Boyko. He is the god of hair and makeup in Ballroom. And Donnie's like, yeah, some of us get up at 3 a.m. to get hair and makeup done by Boyko because that's our only chance. Colleen's like, yeah, I walk into Boyko like a tired middle-aged mom, and I come out an empress ready to go to battle on the dance floor. Do empresses battle? I don't know, but I like that word. Have empresses ever owned multiple turtles? Oh, that was in the Never-Ending Story. There was an empress. I don't really know what it means, but I love the sound of that word.
Yeah, I like that earlier Leonie is like, oh, when I start dancing, I become like Cleopatra, ready to battle on the dance floor. I'm like, are they telling these women to talk about going to battle on the dance floor and just giving them strange? I come out like Marie Curie, ready to battle on the dance floor.
They do, because they each say something like, oh, it's fair and ballroom and war dance.
I come out like Tori Amos, ready to battle on the dance floor.
Oh, this isn't Vietnam. I'm not giving up. Was that too far? So then, we meet Boyko. He's like, welcome. I am Boyko.
Let's do not mention what I found out recently is existing. It's the greatest broken English. Let's do not mention what I found out recently is existing. And I thought I was like, oh, Boyko's gonna start some gossip and they're all gonna fight. And I was like, what's Boyko gonna say? Because he's Grand Central Station. He hears everything. And he goes, a pubic wig.
No, he goes, a pubic week.
Pubic.
A pubic week. And they're like, what? And Sabrina goes, what? A pubic? What's that? And Donnie goes, oh, I think he's trying to say a pubic wig. That's called a merkin. And Colleen's like, a pubic wig and it's a merkin? You knew the name of it even. God, right away. She said, that's a pubic wig. It's a merkin. God, Donnie.
Can't believe they named that after a former German prime minister. No, Merkin, not Merkel. Oh,
I'm sorry. Was somebody calling for Angela? She's busy, but I'm standing in for her today. So, Padma Lakshmi, if anybody needs to get a message to Angela.
Yes, my dear friend Angela Merkel does not have pubic wigs, but she does have a new fashion line called Angela by Angela. I sort of had a first sneak peek of it. Bye.
This whole conversation. Please do not tell me I hear of what I don't hear. Invest in life. Pubic week.
Donnie's like, oh yeah, so it used to be like in the Middle Ages or like in the Renaissance era that like if you had like an STD, if you had like scabies, you'd have to shave off all your pubic hair, but you'd be embarrassed to show your man, so you put on like a little wig so that way they wouldn't know that you shaved off your hair from your puss,
That's what a merkin is? I've
heard of merkins, but I didn't realize. Yeah.
Wow.
Fact check that.
Yeah.
And I like the story. I like how that goes. That's like, I knew Donnie was a great dancer, but I didn't know she was an STD expert, especially from past centuries.
So Sabrina's like, it's nice to be here and bonding with the other women in Boyka land, but I'm still going to crush them all. Merkin or no Merkin. So Johnny leaves and she's like, I'll see you soon, ladies. And Boyko's like, oh, what about me? You'll see me soon. And she's like, you too, Boyko.
So Colette's like, hey, Sab, are you excited to be in B now? And Sabrina's like, oh, B. To be or not to be? I don't know. I mean, I'm a little concerned I'm way too young to be in the B competition. I mean, I'm probably like 7 years ahead of schedule, aren't I? Oh, it's so hard being 31.
And Donnie's like, I'm not shaking in my boots just because some people are coming back. I only worry about me. And Colette's like, yeah, we're all polite on the dance. We're all polite until we get to the dance floor. Because we're on the dance floor, it's like war. Where no one's polite because you're shooting each other, but with stilettos. Could we shorten this?
It's like you're Mary Shelley, ready to go to war. So Leonia's like, in Latin Pro-Am, that they dance the same 5 dances in the same order at every competition. Cha-cha, samba, rumba, paso doble, jive, and slut drops. Slut drops all the time.
Slut drop. The couple with the top combined score will be crowned the slut drop champion of slut drops.
The biggest slut of Stamford, Connecticut.
And then we see Stas doing his warm-up, and he's literally jumping up and down like a ballet. I guess, is it a ballet? I don't know what he's doing, but
I don't remember his type of dance. It was like a
I don't know. He's just jumping.
Arabesque.
He's just jumping up and down. So Colette's dancing with Alex, and she's like, "To prep, we've been working on our chemistry. I mean, I'm not as rehearsed as I want to be, but I hope they see our chemistry because last night I did let him put the hooker on my credit card, and I just was there. I just did a little Sudoku while he was with the hooker, and I was like, look at us enjoying our hobbies together."
Did you know if you get it down 2 boxes down to 2 candidates, you can remove the numbers from all the other boxes? What a great breakthrough for me. I mean, I definitely had chemistry with the Sudoku. So there's more practicing. So Colette and Alex are practicing on their chemistry and everything. And it's 15 minutes until group middle-aged women. And Donnie is like, I'm not the typical Latin dancer. I'll say this for the 3rd time now. I don't have long braid down to my butt. I'm not teeny tiny. I'm also white. So I'm not like covered in rhinestones, and but I am the best dancer overall. So that's what I'm going to put forward on the dance floor.
So her floor is Ilya. And he's like, I don't like it when you go it. What does he say? I don't like it when you go it. I don't know. So then basically they all start getting ready to go in, right? So they're all doing these dancing. And then Ilya and Stas run into each other. And Alex is like, you're fine. It was good for me. And they're just getting real. Sabrina especially is getting really nervous. She's like, where's your hand? She's like, my hand is here. Why can you not find my hand? Come on, girl. What's going on with you?
She's like, I am crying. I never cry like this. I never, ever cry like this. He's like, you cry like this every single day of my life. I go to sleep, and when I dream, I see you crying, and I wake up and I scream, and you're crying again, and I realize I woke up in another dream.
And Sabrina's like, we are the returning champions in a new group. I have a whole new group of women to beat. I feel so much pressure. And then we hear 5 minutes until Group B, and everyone's getting nervous, and they take position. And Group B is about to begin, and this season on Dance Queens. Dun, 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 dun. I was pissed we didn't get to see it too, but I was excited. I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to see this.
I want to see who's who's gonna do well, etc. So it was a fun premiere. I'm excited.
It really was. I loved it. I think it's going to be fun to make fun of. I hope things will clear up soon. Who knows? I hope that people watch this. I really do. Because it was some fun times.
Yeah, same. Just like it's fun to have a different show on Bravo,
Yeah.
So good times. Well, thanks everyone for being here and for supporting us on the bonus episode. Appreciate you. We'll talk to you on the next bonus episode or on the main podcast.
Love you guys.
Bye. Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors.
Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela.
Itchels.
Erin McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
She's never scary. It's the Green Fairy.
Hava Nagila Weber.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch. Kristen the Piston Anderson.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
You're never alone with Lacey Monteleone.
Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
There ain't no problem that Sarah Salvia can't solve ya.
Ruru LaRue.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors, the incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva. Erica, 500 Days of Summers.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender.
My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
We want to hang with Liz Lang.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey